On this episode of the podcast, Lance agrees to do more for the podcast, but goes back to just 3D printing bullshit.
Welcome to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream.
You're locked into another brand new episode of the Absolute Geek podcast. I am Matt.
I am Lance.
Hey, how's it going?
Am I coming in hot?
You're always
That sound all right?
hot. Coming in hot.
No,
Hey,
am I? Okay, cool. Yeah, everything's good, man. How are you?
Chilling, man. Just getting ready for my trip to a whale's vagina next weekend and getting stoked for that and stoked for all the cool stuff coming out of there. And
I mean,
I'm to spend another beautiful evening shooting the shit with old Lance Pepperoni, old brick oven pizza himself.
I'm bummed that I'm not going to Comic-Con with you, but I'm even more bummed to miss out on the opportunity to be in San Diego for a few days.
I am so looking forward to getting out of this heat.
Yeah. I'm going to Colorado to go camping, but
That sounds terrible.
yes. Wasn't my idea.
Awful. Bloody awful.
Was not my idea. But I know you're gonna have a lot of fun, and
I am.
you're gonna be sending me some shit to post, right? While you're on.
Absolutely.
And you're going with your brother, right?
I am my brother, and then my wife and my kids and my sister. We're making an event this year.
So you guys are all going in, not all going in the Explorer.
No, we're taking 2 cars.
Okay. I was like, that was rough with
Nah.
the
Take
3
it.
of us and Logan.
But
Yeah. No, next year I'll be joining you. I want to go to at least one where there's not some sort of actors strike going on,
yeah.
you know?
I don't know. This might be my last year. I say it every year. This is
Yeah.
my last year, but
You were pretty
This might
adamant
be my
last
last
year,
year.
and Aaron and I both kind of rolled our eyes. So,
well, we'll see. We'll see what the weekend brings, but
yeah. But yeah, next year would be if you go,
if I go.
air quotes. But yeah, man, what are you most looking forward to there? So I know before we went last year, we knew that they were doing like a Good Burger pop up and like doing all these things. Like, is there any big? I know that the emails have probably been coming in.
Yeah.
Big any ticket items? Big ticket.
They're doing a huge Deadpool Wolverine event
Of
Thursday
course.
night. Marvel's coming back to Hall H Saturday night, which we'll talk about tonight because some of their stuff might have already leaked. And so looking forward to that. Looking forward to Kevin Smith's panel Saturday night after the Marvel panel to see the trailer for his new movie, 4:30 movie. Super stoked for that.
I didn't know
and
he had a new movie coming out.
Yep. And just all Comic-Con, man. It's San Diego Comic-Con. It is the Mecca. It is essentially the nerd Mecca. So I'm super stoked to be going, not just to get out of the heat, but kind of return to just the craziness that is San Diego and see what happens. See if I leave feeling like I'm ready to go again. And
Yeah, a little bit of normalcy in the nerd atmosphere, right? We've got an actual big Marvel movie coming out, not something that I don't think anybody thinks this is going to suck, right? So
there's a lot of people that do.
Rational people don't think it's going to suck, right?
Listen, I'm kind of sitting in this boat where I'm questioning it. Where, they've at this point leaked and shown so much. So many cameos. Even today, we have it seemed like they had a Deadpool Wolverine trailer for everything. And then today, literally a week before the movie comes out, we get Deadpool Wolverine final trailer that spoils a massive cameo that was speculated on but never confirmed, and spoils a massive, massive cameo.
You know what's funny? Like, outside of Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. Like if they were to make cameos in the movie, that would be pretty big, right? Outside of those two, the one that they showed at the trailer felt almost up there, right? Like I feel that this person is from one of the best Marvel movies ever made. And
a Sony Marvel movie at that.
Or
no, sorry, a Fox Marvel movie at that.
Right. The one of if I had to rank every Marvel movie from every studio, this movie, should we spoil what's in the trailer? I guess we should.
I mean, it's in the trailer. It's a public trailer. Like they can watch the trailer.
So
spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, you can.
Logan's probably one of the top 5 Marvel movies ever. Do you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't.
You didn't like it?
No, it's a good Fox superhero movie, but I would not say it's one of the top 5 Marvel movies.
It's in the upper echelon, I think.
No, I think it maybe just barely cracks top 10.
Well, I know that it's one of the highest.
I mean, if you're encompassing Marvel, you're putting it up against Infinity War, Endgame, Captain America, Winter Soldier, the Spider-Man movies, the first Iron Man. You're putting it up there against some pretty hefty competition.
So
the first Guardians,
the first 3 I liked it better than Guardians. Any one of the Guardians.
Oh, I disagree. I like Guardians 1 more than Logan. Logan's probably, like I said, top 10, but not top 5.
I just think it's one of the more grounded superhero movies out there, and I appreciate that. It reminds me a lot of what's another grounded one, like Winter Soldier, which I love Winter Soldier because it delves into more of the espionage, political stuff more than the superhero stuff. You know what I mean? So maybe that's just my cup of tea.
You threw it out there. You threw this gauntlet. Give me your top 5 Marvel movies.
Winter Soldier, Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2.
In this order, or so you're encompassing not just MCU, you're going everything.
Yeah.
I like it.
I liked it that much. So Winter Soldier, not in any particular order, because Winter Soldier and Spider-Man 2 are a hard toss-up for me. Those are my 2 favorites. Endgame, No Way Home, just for the sheer fan service that it was so fun to watch, not because of like story or anything like that. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like it was just a lot of fun. How many did I name? 3?
I lost track. I was hoping you were counting.
Spider-Man 2,
that's 1.
Spider-Man No Way Home,
2,
Endgame, Winter
3,
Soldier, Logan.
4, 5. That's, yeah, dude, you're crazy.
Dude, that movie just speaks to me, man. Like when I watched it, and when
good.
They talked about
I'm not saying that Logan is not good. It's just not top 5. Dude. Like my top 5 is easily Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, Endgame, Infinity War, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 1. If you want to keep going, 6 is probably Deadpool. 7 is probably X2. 8 is probably Logan. 9 is going to be the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And then 10 would be Spider-Man Homecoming for me.
Yeah, no, I don't put Iron Man on my list. I don't know.
Dude, Iron Man 1 started it all.
Yeah.
Without Iron Man 1, you don't have any of this.
So Iron Man 1 started it all, and so it deserves its reverence, right?
It's a it's the trendsetter for Marvel Studios.
But here's the thing. I like Captain America the First Avenger better than Iron Man.
Oh my God.
But Captain America the First Avenger is a World War II style movie, and I really like those, right? So Captain America First Avenger, I love that movie. A lot of people don't. So right now I'm talking from personal preference, right? I like more grounded movies that deal with real stories. Captain America, the First Avenger felt a little bit more real than Iron Man, right? In Iron Man, it was their first foray into like Marvel Studios' first foray into making these style of movies. And it also might be too, Iron Man 1 doesn't speak to me as much because Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
Well,
Captain America, I think, is the best trilogy out of all of them.
Sun shines on a dog ass every once in a while too, and a broken clock's right twice a day too. So
But if you had to pick the best trilogy out of all the MCU stuff, I think Captain America is the best trilogy.
Oof. No. Spider-Man.
Really?
Homecoming. Far From Home. No Way Home.
For me. Like Far From Home.
Nah, it's...
Even though I love Jake Gyllenhaal in that, like... I don't know. And Homecoming's great, but it's not even in my top 3 of Spider-Man movies.
I mean, what prevents me from saying that is Civil War. If Civil War was this grandiose, like, war, like the comics, like we were all expecting, then yes. But Civil War, I think, kind of hurts it a little bit to say it's the best trilogy.
Well, and my thoughts on Civil War, which I'm surprised to hear you say that, because normally I'm the one that's saying Civil War sucks.
I'm not saying it sucks. I'm just saying if you're going trilogy, I feel like the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy delivers on all of your Spidey goodness, as to where Captain America started strong, gained speed, and then kind of stumbled at the finish line with Civil War. But we really can't even say that yet because it's not finished, because we have Captain America New World Order coming out.
And I see that as a whole new character, whole new trilogy.
So you give it just because it's Sam Wilson instead of Steve Rogers?
Yeah, I just see it as a start of something new. So like when Florence Pugh finally takes over the Black Widow mantle, I'm not going to connect those two. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
So I guess because Winter Soldier is so good that it, I'm coming in hot in my headphones, dude. It's driving me nuts. Winter Soldier is so good that it makes up for the lacking that I feel with Civil War. Like, I just think Winter Soldier is that good, right? I mean, because Thor, the first one's funny, the second one sucked, and the third one's great. And then they follow up with Love and Thunder that was just dog shit. I don't know if Thor 2 was worse than Love and Thunder, I think. And Endgame feels like a Captain America Iron Man movie. It feels like it feels more those two people's movie than anybody else, in my opinion. Endgame.
Well,
so maybe that's it. Maybe it's the story arc too, the reason I love it so much.
Funny, I bring this up because one of our first topics tonight. So I am going to be starting a new weekly show, or not weekly, daily show. I'm going to try to put it, I said it last week. I'm going to start trying, when I come back from San Diego, put out a show a day. I already piloted it a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, but
you put it out there?
I didn't put it out. I recorded it, and then so I came up with Geek News Now. And then I started looking at it, and there's already a YouTube channel called Geek News Now. And I said Geek News Now throughout this entire video. So I just scrapped it. It's going to be called Nerdacy. Geek News Now kind of pigeonholed me for just my thought process on it was I'm going to do 4 topics that came out that day that are relevant, just kind of touch on them a little bit, and then we would talk about them more in depth on Friday with you to get your opinion on them. So we can use those to lead into our Friday show and still have our podcast be our flagship show.
Right.
So with Nerdacy, I can do movie reviews, whatever I want. It's not just pigeonholed to news topics. So I went through all these names. Aaron and I spent like 2 hours thinking of names, and then I came up with Nerdacy. Luckily, nobody has it, so now it's ours. Timestamp this episode that Nerdacy is coming to fruition, and I'm going to start that when I come back from San Diego. So content on the channel for that.
What is the play on Nerdacy? I feel like I should know it.
It's just like Nerd Odyssey.
Odyssey. Okay. Nerdacy.
So,
I like it.
Tonight is actually, I figured because the way things were running and both of us kind of just jumped on last minute, I'm going to just use the topics that I brought into my first episode of Nerdacy to run tonight. So
okay,
that's what we're going to do. So kicking us off, and the whole reason I wanted to kind of have this Marvel conversation is because most of this is about Marvel and San Diego and Deadpool and what's to come. So kicking us off is the Russo brothers are in talks to direct the next 2 Avengers movies.
Holy
and this
shit.
plays into another topic we're going to have a little bit later on. But the Russo brothers are in early talks to return to Marvel Studios to direct not just one, but the next 2 Avengers movies. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter the hiring ends a month-long high-stakes search for the studio for filmmakers to oversee the 5th and 6th Avengers movies. Multiple names were in contention, including Deadpool and Wolverine's director Sean Levy, who was offered the gig. Sources say that talks are in the early stages. In total, they directed 4 of Marvel's biggest and best regarded movies, going on to helm Captain America: Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame. Combined, their Marvel films grossed $6.681 billion, with Endgame standing as the number 2 movie of all time globally with $2.79 billion.
What's the 4th? Winter Soldier? Did they do Winter Soldier?
They did do Winter Soldier, yes.
Okay, that's the 4th. It didn't name the 4th, so I'm like,
right
in my head, I'm trying to circle back.
This makes total sense, right? This isn't, to me, there's leak. So we're going to talk about it later, but there was like 1 point something gig or terabytes of information stolen from Marvel.
When was this?
Saying that over the last couple days, and they're saying that Marvel's entire San Diego line, grain of salt. I'm going to say grain of salt, and I'll throw up spoilers and all that when we get into it. Grain of salt, but they're saying that Marvel's entire San Diego presentation was in this information. And they're saying that we're going to get an announcement of who the new directors are for Avengers 5 and 6. Directors and writers for Avengers 5 and 6. Q, all of a sudden, the Russo brothers are in talks with Marvel to direct the next 2 Avengers movies. So I don't think this is early stages. I think this is a done deal, saving face.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about it next week.
Because that information got out there. So like, oh well, early stages. I don't think it's early stages. I think it's done deal. And if you're Marvel and you're trying to right this ship after the disaster that is the rest of Phase 4 and Phase 5 so far, why wouldn't you go get and the Russo brothers have been on the record saying, if Marvel did an Avengers, if they did a Civil War movie, or not Civil War, but Secret Wars, we would definitely come back to direct that.
So it's crazy to me. Like, it makes total sense for Marvel. But I remember when they finished Endgame, the Russo brothers said they were going to take a multi-year break from Marvel. Maybe they didn't know at that time that Secret War was kind of on the horizon, which I don't see how they wouldn't.
2019. We're now in 2024. That's technically a multi-year break from Marvel.
Yeah. Sean Levy, I'm kind of happy that won't be happening. I like him. Do you know what Sean Levy should direct? The Star-Lord movie.
That would be good.
But I don't know. Marvel never listens to me because I'm not too on board with the Fantastic Four guy. So
who, Pedro Pascal? Oh, the director?
Yeah, isn't it Shankman or something?
I think so, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, but so they don't listen to me. It's all right.
But shocker, why wouldn't you bring in? Look, it says right here, they've directed the 6th highest grossing Marvel movies. Why wouldn't you bring them in to try to get your product back on track?
So, yeah, I agree. I mean, they really, from our discussion earlier, they've only had one, in my opinion, stinker in this whole group of movies, right? And that's Civil War. Just because it didn't follow the comic books.
And again,
so
I
they're
wouldn't
proven.
call Civil War a stinker. I would call it a didn't live up to the hype of, or didn't live up to expectations. But whose fault is that really? Is that ours as the fan for putting the monumental epic that was the Civil War comic book storyline on theaters when we didn't have all these characters in the MCU yet? Or was it just that I wouldn't call it Civil War. I would call it Captain America, an aggressive conflict. Or differences of opinions.
Yeah. Avengers 2.5. Yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't like it, but I read the comic. And so I was really excited and seeing some of those things play out, and they did not go that direction. So maybe that's why it kind of has I kind of give it a stink eye a little bit. But in my conversations with, Corbin, for instance, Corbin absolutely loves this movie, Civil War. That's why I was surprised to hear your take, because I always feel like I'm the only person that says that they didn't like it. But so yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Marvel's had a lot of missteps. Now, Deadpool seems to be a movie that's going to help point the ship in the right direction. So I hope they give Sean Levy another chance. I hope it's not with the Avengers. I hope this Russo thing is true.
Oh, I think it is. I definitely think it is. Like I said, Iger is all about quality over quantity now. They're scaling back their release. If these leaks are true, what we're going to talk about later, it's a no-brainer that this is why this is happening, because the leaks are out there. Marvel, Disney has seen this, and there's no names attached to it yet. And so they're just steering into it, being like, listen, talks are starting. And I don't think talks are starting. I think talks have been starting. And I think they like entertain Sean Levy as a, hey, what do you think? But the Russo brothers are their number one
proven commodity.
Yeah. They have the proven track record. Like it's their number one go-to.
Wasn't Shang-Chi director attached to one of these at one point?
I can't remember. The directors for this have changed. I think so. I think he was supposed to do Secret Wars.
And then Ryan Coogler was attached at one point?
Yeah, the directors have changed with these two movies like crazy. Well, we'll talk about, because Coogler did Black Panther, right?
Both of them.
Yeah, so we'll talk about him in a little bit.
Is he coming up?
we'll talk about him in a little bit. But our next story, speaking of Deadpool, is Deadpool and Wolverine's newest trailer reveals best look yet at Lady Deadpool. So this was before today's trailer. So this is from Tuesday or Wednesday, I want to say. I think Tuesday. But this was before today's trailer. So a new teaser trailer has been released for Deadpool and Wolverine to hype the film's upcoming theatrical premiere. The footage provides the best look yet at Lady Deadpool, although today's is better because you get the full body, head, everything. Though it still holds back from showing the character's face. Previously, a tease for Deadpool and Wolverine showed a brief footage of a pair of legs believed to be those of Lady Deadpool. A new teaser features an extended version that shows as the camera pans upwards to reveal more of Lady Deadpool's costume. Just as her long blonde hair starts to get revealed, the teaser cuts, preventing the viewers from seeing the Deadpool variant's face. You also get Deadpool the Kid, or
the
Kid Deadpool. Who is
I thought it was Kidpool, wasn't it?
Or they have a Kidpool. They have Kidpool, they have Babypool, but then they have the Kidpool, like a play on Billy the Kid.
Oh,
so I mean, at this point, like Blake Lively's going to be Lady Deadpool.
I think it's Blake Lively. Just looking at the body type, Taylor Swift. Both women are beautiful. Okay,
but I don't know.
Taylor Swift is much thinner, and that looks like Blake Lively.
Taylor Swift has always been announced to be playing Dazzler in this movie. And then they came out and said, I fully expect to still see her, even though they came out and said she's not going to be in this movie. There's no Taylor Swift. Yeah, right, dude. How many times did we get told, oh, well, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't in Spider-Man. We're not in there. Smoke and mirrors, and then they show up. All the leaks come out and they're there. I think she's in this movie. I would not be surprised if she's in this movie, but I don't think she's Lady Deadpool.
Aren't they?
Huh?
They're like best friends.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah. So this is either clearly Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds in a wig, or maybe this is Rob McElhenney's cameo.
No, if you look at Wrexham, you can see a little piece of his suit, and it's not that.
Okay.
I think he's just playing like one of those guards, because they make a joke of it in Wrexham. He's like, he could be this guy, and it's all the same kind of character. Those time authority, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the time variant TVA.
All those soldiers. He's like, maybe it's this guy, and maybe it's this guy, and maybe it's this guy, and it's all time variant authority soldiers. So and the suit he was wearing, he's wearing like this big parka, and it kind of looks like that suit. So I don't think it's him. I think it's either Blake Lively or it's a random woman with Ryan Reynolds' face superimposed.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Which would be also hysterical. How funny would it be if it's Blake Lively and they put Ryan Reynolds' face on Blake Lively?
It would be hilarious. If she takes a mask off and she's wearing, like, remember how in Deadpool 1 he's got the Hugh Jackman like magazine cut out
to his face.
If it was like that, where it's Ryan Reynolds' face stapled on top of her, that'd be awesome. But there's big rumors about who's gonna play the kid Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Is that in here?
All right himself.
McConaughey?
Yep.
Wait, it's not a kid?
No, there's Kid Pool, and then there's
the Kid Pool.
The Kid Pool. So it's like a play on like Billy the Kid.
Like Western.
Yes.
McConaughey.
So a little bit about Lady Deadpool here. Lady Deadpool is a female counterpart of Deadpool from an alternate reality, Earth 3010, named Wanda Wilson. Out of a need to belong and feel wanted, she joins the side of a group of rebels fighting against loyalists in the United States. She was created by Victor Gischler and Rob Liefeld. Her first appearance is actually Deadpool Mark with the Mouth #7 from January 2010. Her powers are regenerative healing factor, telepathic immunity, foreign chemical resistance, disease immunity, superhuman stamina, superhuman agility, superhuman reflexes. Her weakness is that she's annoying because she's a Deadpool. But just a little rundown for maybe you not so comic enthusiastic listeners or viewers. Maybe you just like the MCU movies. Just a little introduction to who Lady Deadpool is and kind of give you a expectation of what to expect when you see her on the screen.
What is telepathic immunity? What does that mean? That people can't get in her head?
Yeah, so like Xavier wouldn't be able to get into her head.
Interesting.
Then you have Wade Wilson, also known as the Kid Pool, was wanted for bank robbery, arson, software piracy, and stampeding pygmy goats through an orphanage. The Deadpool Kid appears beside Deadpool and Headpool of Earth 616 and Earth 2149, respectively, and boasts to the Sheriff Fury and bounty hunter Logan of taking over the town while they're allied with the counterparts. Unfortunately, Deadpool of Earth 616 doesn't fully agree and shoots his outlaw counterpart in the head in the comics. Also created by Victor Gershler and Bong Dazo. First appearance is also Deadpool with Mark with the Mouth #7, January 2010.
Was that just a big variant episode? Or
yeah, comic? He's pretty much a just Deadpool, gunslinger Deadpool. So his abilities are all that you expect with Deadpool. So that's just two of the variants. I think we're gonna get so many Deadpool variants. I mean,
we already know we're getting whatever.
We already know we're getting Baby Pool. We're gonna get Kid Deadpool. We're gonna get Deadpool, the Kid Deadpool Kid. We're gonna get Headpool. We're gonna get Lady Deadpool. We're gonna get Dog Pool. So there's gonna be so many Deadpool variants in this movie, and I think there's gonna be so many Wolverine variants in this movie, that you really can't miss on it.
You know what's funny? We've heard about Wolverine variants, but we haven't heard any actors attached to that, have we?
No, I think they're playing that real close to the chest.
Do you think one's going to be Taron Egerton?
I have my suspicions, yes.
Because he and Hugh Jackman are very close.
I think Patch, the one when they're in Madripoor and he's in the white suit and he's at the poker table, I think that's either Taron Egerton or Daniel Radcliffe.
You think Danny DeVito's in it?
No, I don't think Danny DeVito's in it. That
okay,
would be
listen,
spectacular, though.
Just listen, though. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, Danny DeVito. It's not a far stretch.
It's not. It's definitely not. And it would be fantastic if it was.
Just a quick, 5-second thing. It would be hysterical.
Hey, I'm the Wolverine. Yeah, it would be, but.
Oh, I must have gotten the Gatorade bottle and the pee bottle mixed up. It's one of my favorite clips ever.
But sticking in there, for all you Deadpool Wolverine fans, Deadpool Wolverine leaks popcorn bucket featuring Wade Wilson's baby pool variant. The latest Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket features the Merc with the Mouse pint-sized variant baby pool and more of the merchandise, which will be available to purchase in Cinemarks later this month.
So we're not getting one.
Right. And they have Deadpool and Wolverine best friend cups, and they have keychains, and they have the necklaces, and anything that they can market Deadpool and Wolverine on, they have. They've got Deadpool and Wolverine frozen pizzas. They've got Deadpool and Wolverine alcoholic beverages, gins. They have, even though it's Ryan Reynolds' company, but anything that you can market this movie towards, they have done it.
Actually, there is a Cinemark here in Arizona. Tempe Marketplace.
Oh, really? Well, there you go.
Or Mesa Riverview. It's one of those, how those are close together.
Yeah.
It's somewhere there by Bass Pro Shop.
Go get your Deadpool and Wolverine.
If I stop by, you want me to get you one?
I don't necessarily know that I need one of those.
I want the Wolverine one.
I'm kind of getting out of the popcorn bucket game. Unless it's super cool, like the Ghostbusters one, I don't need the Dune 2 one just to make a joke about it looking like a fleshlight. And I don't need the, Wolverine one because it looks like you can do fellatio to his mouth. Yeah, I don't.
The Ghostbusters one are those are upper echelon when it comes to popcorn buckets. They pulled out all the stops.
I was kind of disappointed in the Mutant Mayhem one. That's just a popcorn bucket with what looks like a sewer lid on it. It just.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get that one.
But.
Yeah. I was a little bummed of the ghost trap not making any sounds. It lights up.
Yeah.
But my Ecto one lights up and makes sounds.
It'd be cool if it did make sounds.
Yeah. So I was a little bummed about that, but it's still fucking awesome.
And all right, what's next? Little bit of pro collaboration news. I promised my sister I would do this. Because she works, her second job is at Bath and Body Works. But Bath and Body Works, if you're a candle fans or soaps fan, is doing a collab with Stranger Things. So they have some Stranger Things candles here. They have Steve Scoops set sail in this ocean of fragrance, vanilla ice cream, golden waffle cone, and parlor sprinkles. They have Surfer Boy Pizza. It's baked pizza dough, juicy pineapple, and fresh basil. They have 11's waffles. Enjoy the triple-decker waffle extravaganza, frozen waffles, maple syrup, and melted butter. And then they have Hopper's coffee. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Roasted coffee grounds, tonka beans, and a splash of half and half. That's what's burning behind me right now is actually the Harper's coffee, and it smells amazing.
Yeah. Bath and Body Works makes good shit, dude.
It smells absolutely amazing. So
they're available now, huh?
They are available now. You can get them in stores or online. from what my sister says, the Steve's Cones or Steve Scoops is good. The 11th Waffles is good. And from personal experience, the Harper's coffee smells amazing if you're Hopper's coffee. It smells amazing if you're a coffee fan and coffee drinker. She said the Surfer Boy pizza is a little strange because the fresh basil scent kind of throws it off.
Yeah, when you said pizza dough, pineapple, I was like, oh, that's not. And then you threw basil in there, and I'm like, they're stoners. They're not taking the time to put basil on their pizza.
It should be like oregano.
No, it should be freaking honey ham.
Or pepperoni.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Personal experience, I would say go with the Hoppers because it smells really good.
Well, dude, I walk down the coffee aisle at the supermarket just to get that smell. So I love the smell of coffee.
Yeah, it's very. My whole office smells like coffee right now, and it's amazing. I'm not gonna I lit it earlier today when I was working because I was kind of stressing out over work. So I lit it and I played a little Count Basie, little jazz, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of relaxing. The smell of coffee with the jazz music going. It was nice little. It was very relaxing. But
now I've heard that the smell of coffee can even keep you awake. Do you feel like that's?
I mean, I don't know. I've never tried.
Well, I mean, do you feel like it's reinvigorating you at all, or do you feel more calm?
No, I feel more energized.
It is dangerously close to that picture back there. How close is it?
It's really not. It's really not. It's actually more to the front of my thing. It's just, depth of field.
In the picture, it looks like it's right under it, like you're trying to start a fire.
Yeah, no, but it's not. All right.
When I was first married, just real quick, when I was first married, I lit a candle on the nightstand and fell asleep while on the couch. And while I was sleeping, the pillow fell into the candle and almost lit the entire house on fire.
Nice.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
So this is it. Spoilers.
You mean
spoilers?
Spoliers?
Spoilers, yes. But
typed it a little too fast.
I really didn't. It was on here already. I think somebody else used it because it was for some movie that I wasn't even on that episode.
Of course.
So
spoilers. All right, what are the spoilers?
So we are getting into the territory of talking about Marvel's Hall H presentation.
Oh, that stuff we were talking about, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, you changed it too? I changed it.
Oh, yeah.
That works. Whatever.
So spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled about the announcements that are going to be happening Saturday night from San Diego Comic-Con from Marvel's Hall H panel, again, take this all with a grain of salt. Nothing's confirmed. This is just what's out there. Okay. And it doesn't really spoil anything major, but just if you want to be surprised by what's going to be announced, we'll see in a minute. So Marvel Studios SDCC plans revealed as Disney's allegedly faces a 1.1 terabyte hack, which includes intel on future movies. A group called Null Bugle.
No, it's Null Bulge.
Oh, Null Bulge. I like Null Bugle. Null Bulge. I didn't want to say Bulge, but Null Bulge claims to have gained access to the company's internal Slack with the data they've acquired, including information on unreleased projects, never before seen concept art, and various logos and persona details.
Logins. They got logins to things.
Sorry, various logins.
Which is crazy. The other thing that's crazy is why the hell is Marvel using Slack?
Right. So this is all, like I said, grain of salt here. But the leaks include that the announcements of the directors for the next two Avengers movies. What do we talk about? The Russo brothers. It's just amazing that this happened. And then a few days later, all of a sudden, the Russo brothers are in talks to direct the next two Avengers movies. Blade is being pushed to 2026. That is not surprising to me. I'm actually more surprised that they're not going to announce that the damn movie's just canceled.
Yeah.
We're going to get our announcement for a new writer and director for Thor 5 because we know that Taika Waititi is out and he's not doing another Thor movie. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are going to return for the next 2 Avengers movies. What shocker there. Armor Wars logo and possible release date. I know that says Logan, but logo and possible release date.
You were just thinking about your kid when you wrote this.
Yeah, I probably was because she was sitting there like whining to me at it. So Shang-Chi 2 announcement with logo and release date. Trailer for Thunderbolts. Here's where I know Lance is getting excited about. The new X-Men logo and entire cast announcement. The team, not the actors. So the lineup of characters that they're going to use for the movie, not the actors that are playing them, but we're going to know the.
Think it's going to be the
characters.
The core team?
I don't think so because rumor has it Wolverine is not going to be part of it.
Eventually, he'll be part of it.
I don't know. I think they're taking more of the Wolverine in the Avengers route versus Wolverine in the X-Men.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake, in my opinion.
We're going to get the full cast of Fantastic Four on stage at the same time together.
Who the fuck cares?
We're going to get logo and announcement for Doctor Strange 3. No shocker there. Black Panther 3 announcement with Coogler on stage announcing that he's returning to write and direct Black Panther 3.
Of course.
We're going to get an announcement for our first feature-length animated Marvel movie, as Marvel is very impressed by the quality and response that the Spider-Verse movies got. So they're going to dabble into that animated realm.
Where do you think it's going to be?
I have no idea.
I think I have an idea.
What you got?
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck animated movie
with Seth Green.
Maybe
people have been clamoring for that.
Yeah,
like there's been a lot of online discussion about we need Seth Green's Howard the Duck movie. I think that would kill, don't you?
Probably, depending on how they did it.
What would you think it would be if not that? Squirrel Girl?
No, like I said, I honestly don't know. Like, it could be a big epic that, you know, we haven't gotten yet because of the limitations of the live action cast. It could be what if based. It could be storylines that we've seen play out in comics that haven't played out on the big screen yet. It could be anything. Howard the Duck is a brilliant idea. But
it's not a brilliant idea.
No, it is. It is.
I think that's the one that makes sense. I mean,
but
it better not be Baby Groot. Like, I don't want to.
No, I don't think it's gonna be anything like that. It's gonna be full feature length. So,
but here's the thing: it would not be Howard the Duck if it was directed to kids. That's the only thing. So, is it a kids movie, or is it
again
pushing the envelope?
That's all.
I'm just.
Yeah,
I get asking in generalities, but
yeah,
that's going to be the caveat.
Nothing about Kang the Conqueror. No casting announcement. Zero to do with Kang.
I think with Kang, do you think that something's going to I mean, because he's variants, right? So there has to be something baked in that explains why all of a sudden he looks different. Or are they just going to pull a Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle, Harrison Ford?
Well,
switcheroo.
Kang has looked different in the comics. Like, he's different characters and
right. That's what I think.
So, they could do that, but nothing about Kang, nothing about recasting him, nothing about a casting announcement, nothing to do with Kang the Conqueror. We're going to get a new title for Avengers 5. To go along with the long-standing rumors that's been floating around for a few weeks now of Ryan Gosling being announced as Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns movie announcement in Phase 6. We're going to get the Young Avengers logo and announcement. But again, I feel like I say grain of salt because if you listen, Young Avengers, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's in, it's out, it's in and out, it's in, it's out, it's in and out. It's more in and out than your mom and your dad were the night you were conceived.
Well, listen, though, they have done a lot of prep work to build the Young Avengers.
They have. But that was all when that slate before Iger came back, and now that Iger's back, and he's like, nah. We're gonna back off here. Young Avengers. It's talked about Young Avengers being scrapped. So who knows? Like I said, grain of salt with all of this.
Yeah. Go ahead. The last one.
And we're gonna get an announcement for a writer, and the announcement of a Scarlet Witch movie. Which again, she's died. She died at the end of.
I think Agatha is gonna fix that.
Well, either that or let's be honest, it's a comic book movie. People don't stay dead in comics. Why should they stay dead in comic book movies?
Especially in this new multiverse.
They're not going to. So
era that we live in.
I would not be surprised if we did not, I'm not surprised by any of this stuff. Like I said, it doesn't give away a lot, but just enough.
The Midnight Suns one surprises me. So Wolverine is a pretty premier part of Midnight Suns, isn't he?
In some iterations, yes.
If you have Ryan Gosling, would you put Hugh Jackman in as Wolverine with Ryan Gosling?
You could. Why wouldn't you?
Or would that be an opportunity to have a young actor come in?
It could be whoever they're gonna have play the Wolverine, the MCU version of the Wolverine. Because I mean, you already have a good amount of members for this, because there's Blade. You could bring Blade into Midnight Suns before you actually ever bring a Blade movie. Doctor Strange, Elsa Bloodstone, Wong, Moon Knight. That's a good way to bring back Mark Spector.
You got Bloodstone and Werewolf by Night.
Yep, you got Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night, Iron Fist, Scarlet Spider, but then you'd have to. It gets kind of touchy there because of the Ben Reilly thing, but Ghost Rider, Morbius, again the Sony thing there, but a lot of these characters that were already affiliated with the Midnight Suns team are in the MCU.
In Iron Fist, I wonder. There's been rumor that, obviously the guy that played Danny Rand in the show isn't coming back. I think he's the only one that hasn't been invited back. But there's been rumors that the girl that's in that show may take the Iron Fist mantle. And I've seen that for years. What's her name? Jessica or something?
I'd be all right with that.
Well, she was the best part of that show.
But Marvel owns Fox now. So you could bring Magic in from New Mutants. And you could get Anna Taylor-Joy back and bring her in the MCU to play Magic again.
Dude, New Mutants didn't get a fair shake, dude.
I actually really like that movie.
I did too. It's like one of the few Fox properties I was like, oh, I could watch this. And it's more horror than Doctor Strange was.
Yes. Agatha all along looks like more horror than Doctor Strange was.
Oh, I was going to say, when we were talking about the Scarlet Witch thing, I think so. In the trailer, you're familiar with the Agatha trailer, right?
Yep.
When that body is on the ground, when she's a detective and they go research that body, I think that's Scarlet Witch.
Because you think
it pans to her fingers, and her fingers are kind of blackened. You remember, like, it may not be actually Scarlet Witch, but I think it's going to be like, to her, she's going to see it as Scarlet Witch. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Like, I think everything in there's a trick of some sort, but.
Well, so, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because you are getting Wiccan, and Wiccan is her son in that series, so.
Why are you getting the other one? There've been no mention of the other one.
Well, because Wiccan is He's a spellcaster. He's a sorcerer.
But he wouldn't be, or Speed, right? Is it Speed?
Yeah, Speed is not.
He wouldn't be mentioned at all, like not a
he might.
Passerby,
he just might not be cast in the movie because it has to do with the magic side of things versus what he brings to the table. So he very well could be mentioned in it, but
I'll just be grateful if I never have to see those two kids portraying those characters ever again.
Well, they recast I believe they recast the role of Wiccan.
Yeah, it's an older actor now.
Yeah.
You see him in the trailer and he's gay.
Mm-hmm. And Wiccan is gay in the comics as well. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying that it
I know.
looks like they're kind of sticking to it.
I'm just giving that extra tidbit where I can for the listener who's maybe not as up on the comics as I am or you are. It just kind of connects the dots to what you were saying is like, oh, well, he's gay. Well, yeah, he's gay in the source material too. So don't flip out. Don't be like, oh, they're they're gender bending that shit, or they're
I fully expect
right.
for a bunch of dumb rednecks to.
It's in the source material. It's okay.
I like the idea of a Scarlet Witch movie. I really like Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I don't think she was ever given enough to do. Doctor Strange is the first time we see her in WandaVision, of course, but in the movies where she takes like center stage,
Yeah.
So I'd be excited for her own movie. Honestly, they should have made a Scarlet Witch movie before they ever made Black Widow.
I agree. I actually agree 100%. 100%.
Or Captain Marvel for that instance. I'd much rather have a Scarlet Witch movie.
I agree.
Was that all the news? That's
it? Yeah.
So, so you leave Wednesday, right?
Yep. Wednesday morning.
Awesome. And then Hall H for Marvel is what? Saturday
night. Yep.
So your last day there?
My last day there. Yep.
You're going to have to camp out for this one.
No, I get why. I'm pressed, man. I don't want to camp out for it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That was nice when I got to go to Hall H for the Turtles and just walked right in. Although they put me in a really shitty spot. You got to kind of watch it like this the whole time.
Yeah, they put you in the press pit.
Yeah, but they could have like brought it in front of the stage just a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like off to the end, so you're looking at everything.
But you get a great shot of everybody walking in and walking out.
Yeah.
You do kind of have to look off to the side, but it is what it is.
But it's impressive. I don't know if any of our listeners have never been to Hall H. That's a big room.
Yeah.
A big ass room. Like you don't get that. You don't understand it when you watch videos and stuff from Hall H, like how many people are actually there. It's wild. I'm so bummed I'm not going, dude.
But it sucks, but
it is what it is.
You decided to let your wife control your life and go to Colorado instead.
Hey, I get to do a lot of the things I want to do.
I'm just kidding.
When she puts her foot down and says we're going camping with my family, and she has that look in her eye, you know which look I'm talking about.
I'd be like, why, Anna? Why?
But
why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. The idea of camping with some of my wife's family sounds excruciating, but whatever.
Oh. Yeah.
No, it'll be fun. Get to go to Colorado. I love Colorado, so. But dude, we had a lot of stuff. We had Acolyte finished this week. The Boys finished this week. Cobra Kai came in this week. What else? I've been watching Hit Monkey. I know you don't like it. I like it. Something else that I'm missing.
The Boys?
I said The Boys. The Boys ended this week. Acolyte ended. Boys ended. Hit Monkey, Cobra Kai.
That's it that I know of.
Is that it? Yeah. The Boys, this final, you want to talk about that or do you want to get Acolyte out of the way?
Let's keep it like how they release. So let's go
Acolyte first,
then The Boys,
then Cobra
Kai.
Dude, I don't know if they know what the fuck they're doing in Acolyte. They killed off the one guy I liked. Oh, we're getting into spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. The episode's been out.
They killed
spoiler
the one
alert,
guy I liked.
As Lance started spoiling it already. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. Up. Yeah, I threw these together real quick just so that I can have timestamps. So the Acolyte, it pretty much ended the way I saw it ending.
Yeah.
I was off about a couple of things. Like, I thought for sure this whole episode it's the culmination of episode 5, where, Osha is with Blake Bortles and May is with Soul, and you get Soul revealing that to May that he killed their mother, and then you get you learn that the head, I don't even know the chick's name, the green bald-headed chick, her apprentice, her Padawan is actually Blake Bortles. And so you're going to get the culmination of all that. You get to see Darth Plagueis the Wise in the cave, lurking.
Yeah, I had no idea who that was.
If you don't know, if you don't know Star Wars lore, he is actually the master to Sidious, to the Emperor. So
interesting.
He is the Emperor's master, and his whole thing is to try to create. They talk about him in episode 3. Palpatine tells Anakin about him in episode 3 about how he could create life with the Force and save Padme from dying. And so that's kind of what he's trying to talk. That's who he's talking about there.
Oh, do you think that's how the twins were created?
Yes, they were created with the Force. That's why
but from him.
Yeah, I think that. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the witches created him or if he had a hand in it behind the scenes. But that's why they keep saying that they're two entities of the same vessel.
Yeah, they're two halves of the same person, essentially, right? That's the way I took it.
So I forgot where I was going with that. But
I just realized our little logo wasn't up in the corner.
Yeah. You get to see Darth Plagueis. You get a cameo from Yoda at the end.
Back of his head.
The back of his head. But like I said, it ended where I said last week that it was clear to me that Osha was going to join the dark side. And that May was probably going to join the Jedi, and that they'd find out that their mother was still alive. Well, I was spot on about Osha. I missed, and I was half a point for the May thing because she is with the Jedi now, but she's been mind wiped. And
I think the mother's going to come later.
And then you've got, well, good on you for thinking you're getting to season 2 of this. May got mind wiped and she's with the Jedi. And then you've got Soul's dead.
Yeah, I'm bummed about that.
So
I thought that they renewed it for season 2 before the first episode even premiered.
I don't know. I don't know if they have. I've not heard. I don't remember hearing anything about season 2. But so I like that you got to see the Kyber crystal bleeding in this, where when her lightsaber's blue, and as her hate and anger builds and her emotions build, it slowly goes from blue to red. That was cool.
I didn't realize that lightsabers work that way. I thought it was like a Harry Potter thing, like you choose a color.
I
didn't realize it was.
Well, I think there's a reason why all Darksiders red.
Do you know how much this fucking show costs?
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
180 million.
Yeah. That's crazy. Crazy.
Why? What in it?
Probably the special effects, because you got to think of like every single lightsaber, every time they use the Force. It's probably all special effects and props.
That just seems, because no big actors were really cast in it. So it doesn't go into casting. The biggest actor being Trinity, Carrie Ann Moss, I think, right? Is that who that is?
Yeah.
That's just
well, the dude who
crazy
plays Soul is pretty big, and then you have Dakota Johnson. Was it Dakota? It's not Dakota. Johnson. Dakota
Dante Keene, or Daphne Keene.
Daphne Keene. There you go. Thank you.
But she's killed.
Yeah,
she's only in an episode and a half, I think, or two.
So it ends with, you know, Osha joining the dark side, Soul being dead, May's been mind wiped, and she's with the Jedi. Are we gonna get a season 2? Don't know. I would be surprised, but again, I wouldn't be shocked if we do.
Well, they're just going to look at viewership. They're not going to look at reviews as much with a lot of these things, because they're going to look at their viewership numbers, and if the viewership numbers were there, that's my problem with Star Wars in general, because it says Star Wars on it. The people flock to these shows. They don't have anything in their mind that says, no, this. If I didn't do this podcast, I would have quit after episode like 3, 4, maybe.
But they're going into hardcore Star Wars fans, they're going into new realms. Everyone's saying, I want to get away from the Skywalker stuff. Well, now you're getting High Republic stuff that takes place hundreds of years before the Skywalker saga.
But what did they do at the end of the show? Introduce Yoda.
Yeah, but Yoda
now
was
the
alive.
Connective tissue is there.
Well, Yoda was alive, and he was always a member of the Jedi Council, so it makes sense. It makes sense that he's in there.
I know, but the connective tissue is still there. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I would like to see something that is nowhere near it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We haven't gotten anything like that yet. There's still all these connective tissue pieces to Skywalker. I mean, they got the Rey movie coming out. That's connected to the Skywalker stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
but
have they released anything that's not Skywalker?
No, Mandalorian.
No, they pull Luke in.
No, that's true. That's true. No, they haven't.
It just seems like the well is so, like, Max talks about all these books that he's read, like novels and stuff that have nothing to do with
that's all extended universe. That's all not canon anymore.
I know, but the well is deep.
They can pick and choose. Well, yeah, but you know, it's clear that these people don't know about Star Wars, but we could beat that till we're dead. But the show started good. The first 2 episodes were great. I liked them. I was in for it. Then again, like I said last week, then you got episode 3. I think 3 and 7 should have been put into 6.
Yeah.
And then 8.
Wait, is 6 the last one, or
finish it? 8 finish it. No. So 3 is the first flashback episode, 6 is the second flashback episode.
Okay.
4 and
then
5.
We got 2 more after that.
No, wait. 7 is the okay, so sorry. 3 and 7 are the flashback episodes. Because then you've got 4 and 5, which is the battle on the planet where all the Jedi get killed. And then
I'm pretty sure 7th is the last episode.
No, it's 8. It's 8 episodes.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Interesting.
And then 6 is the episode where, you know, Blake Bortles is talking to Osha and she puts on the mask. That's
okay.
Should have been the flashback episodes. Should have been mixed into there when, like I said last week, we had Soul talking to May and you had Blake Bortles talking to Osha. You could have put those in there. And then
I gotta say, this episode had an awesome fight scene.
They had a couple awesome fight scenes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that with the Soul and Blake Bortles fight scene.
Overall, I would probably give this series like a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you. Like a D, like a C minus to a D.
Yeah, it's like it's not great, but it's not terrible.
It's better than Boba Fett.
It is better than Book of Boba Fett, yes. But
not much else is better than it, right?
Right. So
I still think Andor is my favorite.
It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just it's a decent show. Like it doesn't. It's just different enough for the Star Wars fan to get excited about because it's New Republic. It's New Republic stuff, not New Republic, but High Republic stuff.
Yeah.
It's before Skywalker. It's the high time of the Jedi. It's just different. So,
see, and that's why I like Andor so much. Andor, like, there's barely any Jedi shit in it. There's like,
but you already know what's gonna happen. Like, do you really need a story about a character before he went on this heroic mission to steal the Death Star plans and then dies?
Wait, I thought this was after. What? I thought he was the only one that survived, or did they die in
No,
Rogue?
they all die.
Oh,
all of them die.
Yeah, I still like it. That was the one show that I was like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. Like, I really enjoyed that one.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. I watched the first 2 episodes and never went back to it, but it's just
I just like the grounded part of it. It goes back to our Marvel discussion. Like I like the grounded stories more than the fantastical. Does that make sense? Like the fantastical is good for enjoyment and just fun.
Yeah.
But like the grounded stories to me is the better writing, the opportunities to really showcase the dialogue. And that's why I'm such a big A24 fan, just those grounded stories.
Speaking of A24, they have a good movie coming out with Florence Pugh and
yes, Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield looks really good.
Yes, I showed my wife that trailer. That one looks awesome.
But
very romantic comedy, but it also looks like it's like a very serious movie. Like
I
wonder if it's going to be their attempt to get nominated, finally maybe win some Oscars. Andrew Garfield's been shafted so many times.
I just don't know if it's going to be like time travel or take place at like different points in time or different dimensions. I don't know. It looks
I didn't get that vibe from that. It seemed like she hits him with the car, they fall in love, they get married, and then she gets sick. That's what it kind of feels like.
What's the name of the movie? It's something time. We Live in Time is the name of the movie. So I just wonder if the movie's going to jump around to different points of time. I don't know.
Oh, apparently he was in a movie called Under the Silver Lake, which is also A24, I guess. And I didn't realize, I was reading the synopsis. I'm like, holy shit, I think it is about time.
I mean, they won an Oscar with Everything Everywhere All at Once. They've had a lot of Oscar nominated movies.
No, but Andrew Garfield keeps getting shafted.
Oh, Andrew Garfield, yeah.
And he should have won one for Hacksaw Ridge, or the other one that he was nominated for, which was the Rent one, about the guy that created the Broadway play Rent. Was it Click Click Bang Bang or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so the reason it's called We Live in Time, so here's the synopsis of it. Alma and Tobias are brought together by a surprise encounter that changes their lives. As they embark on a path challenged by the limits of time, they learn to cherish each moment of their unconventional love story. So that's what I assumed that it was.
She has left alive.
The time that she has left, yes. Every second
counts.
Is their currency. You know what I mean? Like they're spending so I think it's a grounded story. I hope it's a grounded story. Although Everything Everywhere All at Once was fantastic.
Regardless, I'm super excited for it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about The Boys.
Yes. Okay. So at the end of last week's episode, I think, or it might have been the week before, I told you, hey, man, I'm not really feeling it this season. Right? Was it last week that I said that to you?
Because it was
this episode changed it. Changed my entire outlook.
Spot on the nose political.
Yeah. This is too, but this had
but this episode is catching hate too, though.
About what?
Well, because last Saturday we had the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and now this week they kind of go with the same theme, but they went and they put a disclaimer at the front of the episode that this is, fictional political violence, fictional political issues. So they kind of, it's drawing a lot of outcry from fans saying that the show went soft. The show has lost its edge by doing that.
Well, those people are idiots because, like you said, it follows the comic book, and they had no idea that the assassination was going to take place.
Right.
This episode's been done for months.
Apparently, they even changed the name of the episode. It was, apparently, it was supposed to be something like The Assassination or something like that, and they actually changed the title of the episode.
I think they removed a line of dialogue too. When Firecracker at the end, when she's saying "Make America safe again, make America this again," I fully expected her to say "Make America great again," and then "Make America super again," and she didn't. I think that was removed. It seemed like that's where it was going, right? She names off like "Make America this again," like 4 or 5 different things, and then "Make America super again." I think that there was a "Make America great again" before the super to really drive it home. And I guarantee you that they removed it.
Yeah, the title of the episode was The Assassination Run.
And now it's what?
I don't know. That was a lot of the upcry that they changed it. Maybe they switched it back, but because everything I'm looking at on like IMDb calls it The Assassination Run.
Well, here, while you're talking, I'll pull up on my Prime.
Where's my phone? But I saw IGN give it like a 6. This episode was, I don't know. I'm torn on this episode. This whole season, I wanted to see more from the kids in Gen V. Like, I wanted to know what happened to Gen V. Like, you connected this show to Gen V. You've got the virus. You had the end of Gen V. You had Homelander show up and Billy Butcher show up at the school, and the only people you see are the antagonists from the first season of Gen V. You don't even see like I can't think of their name, but the chick who bends blood, and the gender swapper who can go from male to female depending on what power set she needs.
The secret one, the one that whispers. On Prime app, it's just called Season 4 Finale. They definitely changed the name.
Okay. So
because all of them have names, and that one's changed to Season 4 Finale.
Yeah, it was supposed to be The Assassination Run, and they changed it, so.
Yeah, I thought like we saw them at that point, and then we saw them in what, like episode 4? They were in V Tower or something like that.
Yeah, in the Vought Tower, the 7 Tower.
I don't understand why they would all be working for Homelander and Vought if they knew, like, I don't know. All those kids were tested on, and that was the whole like thing with Gen V, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to start to turn into like good guys, and now they're doing this. It just doesn't track for the characters. Like it felt out of place to use them to round up the boys. Because I thought they were turning into good guys.
She has that power. Well, she's the Whisper chick is still, she was the main, like one of the main bad people, and she was kind of the one behind all of it in Gen V.
But I thought she changes towards the end when she gets found out. Maybe I need to watch it again.
So, because it ends with like all your main good guys in Gen V locked up in like some secret location.
I was surprised that,
and then she and Golden Boy's brother are not there. So,
yeah, that's right. That's why we don't see the shrinking chick.
Yeah, Cricket, little Cricket.
They didn't have the bloodbender in there, did they? The main girl.
I'm saying that she wasn't in there. I wanted to see her in there.
So they split off from them. So the shrinking girl, the bloodbender, and the guy that can
Ben Metal,
the actor that passed away, right?
And then the like shapeshifter.
None of them were in it,
right?
And those are the 4 good guys of Gen V. So correct. now it kind of makes more sense to me. Because as you're talking about, I'm remembering Gen V a little bit more. But
I liked that Frenchie finally got his win by him and Kamiko finally kind of getting together.
Yeah, and then it's immediately fucked up.
Yeah.
I love the fight scene in the tunnels.
Yeah, that was cool.
With
Starlight and the shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to see Billy Butcher finally give in to his personalities that are in his head.
So do you think he's still dying?
Yes.
Or do you think, because he didn't look like he was dying when he went in there and killed was it Newman?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if he took the V compound again.
I don't think so. I kind of wonder if it's like so if you've ever watched like the anime My Hero Academia, they have a character that's called All Might, and every time he uses his power, it like slowly killing him. So I kind of wonder if maybe that's what it is like, so if he's not using his power is set, it's slowly killing him, but if he like lets one of his personas or other take over, it restores him and slows it down. But yeah, so that was brutal watching him. Yeah, that was brutal watching him like rip Victoria Newman in half. And the other connection to Gen V is, so when she does that at the very end of the episode, you see her daughter, Newman's daughter, going into an orphanage, which is the same orphanage that the chick who blends blood from Gen V is from, after her family's murdered.
So do you think she's going to pop up in Gen V?
Maybe.
The daughter?
Potentially, yeah. You saw Ryan get his real first Homelander-esque kill.
That was wild.
I think the curveball comes in is I don't think it's Sage at the end of the episode that is talking to Homelander. I think it's the shapeshifter.
She said something for a moment. I thought maybe she'd just recently been lobotomized. She says something that doesn't seem like a normal Sage thing to say. So I kind of got that. I was like, did she just, because she has this, I know you and I know this, but just in case, she has this kink of getting lobotomized and it makes her stupid.
Mm-hmm.
She says something at the end to Homelander that I'm like, that was a weird thing to say. Or she does like finger guns or something like that, like something weird.
And the way she talks about, the way she knows the information about what President Newman said, or not Newman, what the guy who was elected president said when they were locked in a bunker.
Yeah.
And it gets released. So I don't think Starlight killed her in the tunnel. I think she choked her out. and she's still alive, and that's who we see it portraying Sage at the end. It's not the actual Sage.
Which of all the characters to overtake her, overtaking her would seem the hardest.
Yeah,
because you gotta like be smart.
And you get the you got the superhero initiative enacted, so they round up all the boys, and Kimiko and Starlight get away, but Huey gets taken. Everyone but Billy Butcher gets taken. And so now we're rolling into the final season of season 5 with Billy Butcher has the cure or the virus, and he's got these new abilities, and the boys are all scattered.
Mother Milk got bitch slapped by a dick.
Yeah, Mother Milk got taken out by Love Sausage. Because we needed to see Love Sausage again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt like it just ended in a weird place for the boys. And
do you think it's going to be a while before we get the last season? Because this feels like 2 years or something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, I think we're gonna get Gen V season 2, and then we're gonna get and then we'll get season 5 of The Boys.
Which is the
season
final.
3 was 2024 or 2022. So 2
got 2 years.
2 years. But Gen V came out in 2023, and we got The Boys in 2024. So I think we'll get
Gen V was the
season 2 in 2025, and then we'll get The Boys final season in 2026 probably.
Yeah. Interesting. No, I like this episode. I thought it had a lot of action in it. I did think it was close to real events, which I know you say happened in the comic. I do think that they kind of leaned into it a little bit. But this episode felt like a lot more fun.
We got the big reveal that Soldier Boy's still alive.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jensen Ackles is coming back next season, I assume. I think he's going to be the one that ultimately kills Homelander, don't you?
It's a good possibility.
And not the virus.
I think it's going to be they find the kids from Gen V, and they get the chick that can do the blood bending to kill Homelander.
Yeah. So you think season 5 of The Boys is going to be like a Gen V The Boys crossover?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm excited for next season. I'm excited for Gen V season 2. I like the fact that that's like all fresh. They're not following any like comic book or anything like that, so they can really take it wherever they want to go. Rather than The Boys carrying on and on and on, and then start to, because isn't that what they did with Walking Dead? Like Walking Dead goes past what the comic books went, right?
Well, yeah. So yeah, essentially.
And that's where it starts to like lose me and stuff. And it never followed too close to the comic books. I mean, certain characters died before they were supposed to die, and blah blah, blah that,
or didn't die at all when they were
didn't
supposed
die
to
at all.
But,
yeah, because wasn't the Negan, like, I know he kills Glenn, but Abraham wasn't supposed to die right then.
Right, Abraham does not die there. Abraham actually gets shot in the face with a bow and arrow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let's talk about what I really want to talk about.
Cobra Kai.
I even got my shirt on, bro.
Oh, look at you.
Dude, I fucking love this show, dude. I'm so sad that it's nearing the end. I feel like they could just go on and on and on, and I'd still be there for it.
I feel like this 5 episodes. So, for all you don't know, Cobra Kai this season is split up into 3 parts. So you get the first 5 episodes just came out yesterday. Then the next 5 episodes come out in November, and then the last 5 episodes come out in 2025. So to me, now that Miyagi-Do is the only dojo in the valley, you're starting to really see like the teenage angst of it all. It's not like karate based anymore and fighting because you're rival karate groups. It's now become more like teenage angst driven.
But it's also them against the world. Like that plays a pretty big part of it too.
Yes. But I would have liked to see the 6 that are going to this tournament be different than our main group of people. Like Dimitri, Hawk, Sam, Miguel, Robbie, and then the other chick,
Tori.
Lee, who clearly has ties to the woman that's with Kreese now. And then the whole like Tori thing, her mom passing away, and this is spoiler alerts, by the way, if you haven't watched that.
It's on the bottom of the screen.
I know. Her mom passing away, and then her going back to Kreese and turning on them, and for the Setai, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, Setai Tekai or whatever it is, but and then all of it is like revelations about Miyagi being a bad boy, and it's good. I really think this series does a good job of like the character development with Johnny, and it plays well into like that theory that people run with, that Daniel LaRusso is always the asshole, that he was the bully and Johnny's the actual karate kid.
He definitely shows that in this season, because Johnny like is making clear improvements, like as being a person, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Danny LaRusso just every chance he gets, he just thinks he's the same old Johnny. Even Chosen is like, no, Johnny's a good dude, I'm gonna help him go find houses. Daniel's wife is like, Johnny, quit acting like an idiot, you're not quitting, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's taken a shine to him. Everybody has taken a shine to Johnny Lawrence, and then Daniel LaRusso is still the dude that's, you know, behind the scenes scheming, like makes Johnny test drive cars.
But I felt like that was like, that scene in the car dealership was very much like straight out of Ted Lasso, the final season of Ted Lasso, where Keely fires her friend at the PR agency, and she's like, I'm going to start my own PR agency, and I'm taking, who's coming with me? And nobody was speaking up. I felt that was like very like,
I thought it was funny
overused.
That he's wearing like his uniform, and he's got like checkered slip-on Vans, and he walks across the keyboard.
Yeah.
Like he's such an asshole, dude. Like just blatant disregard. But really this show's always been about Johnny, right? This show is about Johnny. He's the main character. Him, like, it was always supposed to show his side of things. And what I think is going to happen is Tori, all next 5 episodes is going to be with Cobra Kai. The last episode, she's going to make switch back to Miyagi-Do. Right? And we're going to see Robbie or Miguel switch to the other side.
I don't think so.
No?
I think Robbie and Miguel stay. I think it's going to be, there's going to be we're going to go along the lines of the first Karate Kid. We're going to play back into that, I think. So Robbie's probably going to get hurt, and Miguel's going to have to take his place. Or I think that, what's LaRusso's daughter's name? Sam is going to get hurt. And that's when Tori switches back. Like some nastiness happens where, you know, Kreese tells one of his students to take her out or whatever. And she's still torn by the fact that she didn't win the All Valley straight up, that Kreese paid off the ref.
Silver paid off the ref.
Or Silver paid off the ref. So I think something might happen where Sam gets hurt and then Tori will switch sides and take her place. But I don't see Robbie or Miguel going Cobra Kai
I do see Lee at some point getting found out what she did to Kenny and her joining Cobra Kai.
No, I don't think so.
Dude, they can't, like, she gave that kid laxatives. We don't see him again after he shits his pants.
But she's trying to get Johnny's attention because I think Lee is actually that woman's daughter. Since she got cast aside by her, and now Lee's trying to get Johnny's attention. But who knows? I really don't know where they go from here. Like, to me, it's like, all right, so they're going to come back to the second half of the season. They're going to do the Setai Tekai, and then where do they go for the third part of the season? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I like where they brought Johnny. I like how he's becoming more of a family man. He's having a daughter, and I thought the girl dad episode where he tries to get him to have a sleepover was the funniest episode. And he's trying to trick them by stealing Miguel and Robbie's phones, and
like him
and Robbie are in a good place, and Miguel and Robbie were in a good place, and now you've kind of got this you've got a divide growing between Miguel and Robbie because Robbie doesn't think Miguel respects him and doesn't think that, you know, he's as good as Miguel. And then you got Hawk and Dimitri kind of splitting up over the whole college thing. Then you had Sam,
which I think is dumb. I didn't like that storyline.
Yeah.
Dimitri, I think
it's very super bad. It's very super bad.
Yeah. I think he's being a bitch. I think that say it was Max and I, or you and I, right? We make plans our whole lives to go to school, right? And one day I come to you and I'll be like, dude, I just don't know who I am, so I'm not going to apply for school and like go on without me. I'll meet you there maybe, but I don't think a real friend would be like, no, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that whole storyline, I was just kind of looking at it a little bit side-eyed. The Miguel and Robbie thing makes sense. The Tori thing kind of makes sense. Because it seems like her default setting is anger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so something bad, like anytime she's depressed or something bad happens to her, her default setting is anger because it's kind of like her putting a wall up. I was really shocked to not see Kenny come walking out Cobra Kai with Tori, because there's something there that needs to be resolved.
I knew as soon as they stopped her fight and she left and quit, and they were like, well, we're gonna have to replace Tori with Hawk, that she was gonna show up, because when Cobra Kai walks out, there's only 3 of them, and then I knew that she was going to be on the team. But I think there's so much, like,
they're supposed to have 6
connection.
So that's 4.
Yeah, there's so much connection between her and Johnny. Like, their stories are very similar, that I think that Johnny's going to kind of be the way back to Miyagi-Do for her.
I agree. And I'm not saying that it surprised me that she was there. It surprised me that Kenny wasn't with her.
Oh, yeah. You thought he was going to go Cobra Kai?
As well. Because the last thing we hear from him is, oh, somebody gave me the he's telling Lee, someone gave me the laxatives. She goes, oh, who do you think did it? He goes, Lapuso over there.
Yeah.
That's the last thing we hear. So he's like reverting back to his, you know, bully self.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't see him again. And they only have 4 Cobra Kai students. They're supposed to have 6. So there's 2 spots. Who is that?
Yeah.
You know? I just don't know, man. Like, I feel like there's something there. They put so much time in Robbie repairing his relationship with Kenny. For the very next episode, maybe 2 episodes later, Kenny shits his pants and then hates everybody. Like, what would you do if you felt betrayed or backstabbed?
Well, yeah, I mean, that could be, but I don't know. I just don't see Miguel or Robbie switching over to Cobra Kai.
I do. Yeah, I think there's going to be one person on that team switching over. It could be Tori goes over to Miyagi-Do and Sam goes over to Cobra Kai. I have no fucking idea. I don't think so, but I think that I think I understand the way this show is written. Of people constantly switching sides. Hawk switches sides, Dimitri switches sides, fucking Robbie, Miguel, like they've all put on a fucking Cobra Kai jersey or gi at some point.
Except for Sam.
I think Dimitri hasn't he?
But they're all in Spain already. So like you would think that they would show. I'm sure they're saving some surprises for the next season, but if that dude was in, because Kreese doesn't know. Well, I guess he kind of does, but they were more trained by Silver. So Kenny was more trained by Silver. So I don't think that he would.
But Kreese pulls him in.
Oh,
because it's Kreese and Silver.
Yeah. I don't know,
but I don't know. If there's 10 more episodes left, it seems to me like the Sakataki whatever tournament would only take one episode, maybe two. I also thought it was weird that they're at Miyagi-Do in the back in the dojo or whatever. They're training. They figure out who's going to Spain, and the very next scene they're in Spain. No fucking them like packing, like no. Like it seems like a whole episode is missing.
Why do you need fucking 5 minutes of them packing their bags?
Well, I think like the transition of Tori walking out and then deciding that like nobody goes and tries to talk to Tori or anything, like they're just like, oh, Tori's not coming, and then they're in Spain. Like it just seems like there's a whole chunk of time. It was weird. There was a whole chunk of time from Tori having a meltdown to Tori's not coming to now we're in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that seem like fast tracked?
Yeah.
And it felt like every season we got is like either 6 to 8 to 10 episodes, right? 5 seems like such a weird number.
Well,
it was barely enough
15,
for me.
It's going to be a total of 15 episodes by the time it's done.
Yeah, it should have been 2 7-episode seasons or 2 8-episode seasons. Like it didn't need to be 3 parts. I don't know. All I know is that I'm excited for this next part, I guess.
November.
Really, let's call it it's season 7. Just I hate this part crap. That 90s show did that, and I fucking hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's part 1. And Stranger Things did that. They gave us a whole season and then like a 2-hour one-off. Like, wasn't it 2 1-hour episodes that they released just by themselves?
Which one?
Stranger Things. Like, didn't they give us 6 episodes, and then a couple months later they gave us like 2 1-hour episodes?
Yeah.
Like, I hate that shit. And they call it part 2. No, fucking, it's the next season. Jackasses. You make me wait more than 3 months, that's a new season. No?
I think if it's going to take part in the same storyline.
Well, most of these shows take part in the same storyline. Like, well, so seasons used to be, they end in May, they start in like August, right? They were like linear TV was always, the summer was off, and then you have like a 2-3 week break around Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 to 4 months, and then a new season would start. No, now they're doing all this part shit.
Just the continuation of the season. So like the Flash season 2 does that, but it's still just the same season of season 2, 20 episode season. So the new seasons wouldn't start until the following fall.
Yeah, they end before summer and they start in fall.
Right. So it's not.
That's a new season.
Right. But the way you just explained it, it can be confusing because the way it sounded like you said, oh, well, they take that 2 week, they take that 2 week break at Christmas. And then when they come back, it's a new season.
No. I was saying that's the only break in between a season that they take. It's like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. in between the middle of a season, but the change from season to season is that summer. Yes. Typically is how linear television works, right?
Yes.
Netflix is coming up with this part bullshit. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, and
I don't know. I'm old school though.
I don't like how some episodes are 5 minutes long. Some episodes are, less. Some are longer. Like, but they shoot it all at one time and then they break it up into episodes. So
yeah,
it's just the way they do episodic stuff is weird.
That's because now they don't have to like stick to a schedule. There's no commercials. Right. That's why it's like that. I mean, there's really nothing holding them to any sort of, which I like and I don't like. I wish the episodes were longer, right? But I think that if they can tell a good story for an episode in 20 minutes, or they can tell a good story in 30 minutes, like, and they vary from episode to episode. I mean, we're getting them all at once, right? What I don't like is Disney gives us a 45-minute episode, makes us wait a week, and then gives us a 30-minute episode, makes us wait a week, and then gives us a 40-minute. I don't like that, but Netflix giving it to us all at once, does it really matter?
No.
I just got to watch more credits.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way you could just go on Netflix and say, skip credits, and just like play it like a movie.
Yeah, play it all at once.
Be fucking awesome. Skip the intros, skip the end title credits, just play the scenes.
Like, yeah, if they had like cinematic mode where it just went right in, it just continued on without the credits or end, or that'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be awesome if Stranger Things was like that? You could just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
No breaks. I mean, because I'm pausing the episode in the middle anyways to take pee breaks or go get food or something like that. Who the fuck cares? Let me control my TV. I don't know. Did you have anything else you want to talk about? No,
that's it. We're done. I'm going to say, I don't know what the status on the show next week is because I'll be at San Diego. So we're going to have content coming fast and furious. So we should have a lot of stuff going on the show.
I'm trying to get a couple guys together to talk about Deadpool because I'll be seeing it Thursday with Max. So trying to get some people together to talk about it. If you're interested in coming on the show and talking about it with me, let me know.
I won't. I'm not going to probably see it till I get back from San Diego.
Not you, listeners.
Oh.
Not you. You're busy. Go. You're going to do work.
But. All right, well, that'll end it for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. If this is your first time here and you liked our podcast, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and turn that notification bell on so you know whenever we upload a new video. Check out all of the content on our channel, the old stuff, the current stuff, Saturday Night Special, everything we got going on. And on that note, for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
Do you have anything else you want to say before we go, Lance?
You need to give Hitmonkey another chance.
No, I don't. And on that note, we're definitely calling it a night.
Ciao.
See you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute
We'll
Geek.
Go ahead and spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And over for
Cosby wine.
We'll drink some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.